Yeah. Prepare to meet your maker, evildoer. Whoa, okay, you win. I thought so, although I saw you were struggling in certain points. Yeah, I'm still not as good at sword fighting as you are. Remember, it's all in the wrist, Robert. All in the wrist. Got it. Now we best be heading home. Father will be waiting.
That man was your brother? It is the sad truth, yes.
Why would you keep something like that a secret from everyone?
And for so long, too, Robert. It's a story that I felt was best left in the past, forgotten. It's quite tragic.
What happened between you two?
I suppose I should start at the beginning, then. It was a long time ago, when we were just kids, around 10 years old. We lived with our father, a strict old man who stood no nonsense, and my mother. However, me and my brother were quite the opposite. Richard was a huge fan of history, particularly medieval times, with kings and knights in shining armor. Me, on the other hand, while I had an appreciation for those times, I was more a railway buff than anything else. I would dream of nothing but steam engines. Despite our many differences, we were the best of friends. How I miss those days. Teachers really seemed to appreciate Richard and his attentiveness towards school. He would constantly get good grades, but he particularly excelled in his history studies. However, I would always find a place to express my love for railways, whether that be drawing them in my notebook or even in my assignments themselves. Teachers didn't really take that too well, though.
I can't have you keep doing this in class. Your studies are far more important than any railway could ever hope to be. It's a dying medium. You do know that, don't you? You better start setting yourself on the right track then, Robert, because if you don't, then I will. Got it? Yes, sir.
Despite being such a history buff, Richard's eyes weren't set on being a teacher or something of that sort. His eyes were always set on inheriting our father's estate.
Really? You don't want to, I don't know, express your knowledge of history in a future career? I can always find time for that, Robert. That can be my backup plan. Like I'd even need one. But I know Father will give the estate to me when he writes that will. Think about it. I'm the oldest. By a year, mind you. Yeah, but I'm the oldest, therefore the most responsible. The firstborn always comes first in the family tree, after all. Sure, but what would you even do with it? I don't know, maybe I'd build a railway line running through it, just for you. I've got time to think it over, don't I? A railway line that runs through an estate. That's not a bad idea. Maybe we could do that together. Well, with my extensive railway knowledge and all. It's a possibility.
But one fateful day, all that changed.
What the blazes? Surprise! Are you blind? You could have killed me. Well, just like old times. I'm in the middle of something here. Oh, please, you do that all the time. Come on, humor me, Richard. Fine. For you. All right, pick one. I thought we would be using our old pocket knives for this. You did say it was just like old times. We've long since outgrown those things. Come on, live a little. Your end is near. You have met your match. Oh no. Quick, put it back together. You're sure Father won't get mad over this? No, it looks good as new. Now quick, let's put these back before we get caught.
Never have I ever seen such reckless and brazen behavior from two young men, let alone my own sons.
Father, if you will.
Silence! The adult is talking now.
Father, please do not put the blame on Richard. I dragged him into this mess, and so I feel I am responsible for this accident. Don't scold him.
Responsible, huh? I'm sure you know the meaning of that word well enough, don't you, Richard?
Yes, I do, Father.
Then you would understand that with you being the oldest, you should be more responsible than this. This kind of foolhardy behavior is not welcome in this household.
Then surely you would understand that one broken statue does not define my sense of responsibility, nor should it ruin this estate's legacy.
Yes, but a single weak root can be the undoing of a mighty oak tree. Don't you understand? If you wish to inherit my estate, then you better take the correct steps to do so. I know you can do better than this, Richard, so show me you can. You have my permission to leave.
I can't believe this. Father, you must understand that I am the one who should be held accountable for the broken statue. Must you be so harsh on Richard? All he wants is to please you.
Robert, never will you know the burden Richard carries. When I pass on to the next life, I wish to rest easy, knowing the person I give it to can take care of it. But I will say that you mustn't drag him into shenanigans like this. I know he means well, and I'm sure you do too, but these things can have dire consequences.
I understand. Thank you, Father. So that explains the lifelong grudge he's held, but why was Richard so mad about it? Your father made some good points.
I was just getting to that.
Well, I'd say that went pretty well, huh? Hey, we both know it could have been worse. That was a pretty light talking to from Father. By your standards. I'm sorry. Weak root. That's what he called me. How degrading. Well, if we're being honest with ourselves, he can be rather foolish. Reckless and brazen. I mean, he practically accused me of bringing down the family name, Robert. Do you not understand this? Oh, please, he was probably just overreacting. After all, he does that a lot. More times than I can count on my own two hands. But he thinks I'll bring down the entire family name because of one measly statue. Surely you must see where I am coming from. Oh, yeah, I can see the headlines now. Norramby family on the streets after eldest son makes their estate collapse into smithereens. Oh, yes, laugh it up, why don't you? Walls crumbling, old friends become sworn enemies. Oh, that's funny. Old friends become sworn enemies. Like that'll ever happen. So, still think you have a chance of owning the estate after that? Oh, please. Despite his scolding, I trust that Father will make the right call when it comes time. So what exactly went down when it came to the estate?
As we are all well aware, my father didn't end up choosing Richard to own the estate after he passed away. Needless to say, he didn't take it very well.
I still can't believe he's gone.
I know it's hard, but he's in a better place now. Pardon me for interrupting, but it's time for the reading of the will. We have gathered here today to read off Master Norramby's last will and testament. I ask that you all remain seated and silent until I have finished. I, Sir Peter Norramby, resident of Sodor Island, do hereby make this my last will and testament. I appoint my servant, Francis Baker, as the sole executor of this will. Any and all jewelry, ornaments, and anything of that like, I leave to my lovely wife, Elizabeth Norramby. Any books and various journals I leave to my eldest son, Richard Norramby. And finally, my lovely estate, and anything within it, barring what I have previously mentioned, I leave in its entirety to my youngest son, Robert Norramby. That is all. I beg your pardon, sir? Can I see that? Thanks. It's all legal. I can't believe it. No. This can't be true. It was supposed to be mine. This estate was supposed to go to me.
I'm sorry, I have no control over what goes to who, sir. I'm just the messenger. Oh, okay. You know what, Francis? You can take this silly piece of paper and shove it right up your... Richard, please, come to your senses, will you? You're being irrational. Have you lost your mind? You could have killed me! This was your doing, wasn't it? What? Brother, what are you playing at? Oh, I'm not playing at anything. It's just that you must have allowed Father to do this, huh? You were jealous. Oh, now that is preposterous. You know I would do no such thing. I'll tell you what, I've had just about enough of Father's favoritism. Even in his death, it still happens. This family is insane! Richard? Where are you going?
Pay no mind to him. He'll be back and realize his mistake. He was in the heat of the moment. Happens to the best of us.
I suppose. Do you think he really meant the things he said?
No, of course not. So what are you going to do with the estates?
I don't know, Mother. I really don't know.
But the answer soon came to me. Richard had mentioned the idea of making a railway line run through the estate. I decided that if I couldn't make it up to him with the estate, accomplishing this would be the least I could do. Immediately, I began drawing up sketches for my plans, but that was easier said than done. I wanted to keep as much of the original state intact as possible, but try as I may, nothing I came up with would work, so I decided to take a few steps back and start small. What I needed was an engine to run the estate. What can I help you with?
I'm looking for an engine to run a small railway line. I've looked in a lot of places. Have you got any standard gauge engines that fit what I'm looking for?
Well, I've got a few. Come with me. What about this one? You think this would do the job?
I'm not sure. Seems a bit small, not to mention very boxy. Not quite elegant enough for what I'm looking for.
Well, here. What about this one?
A bit closer to what I need, but it's not quite there yet. Oh, how about that one?
Him? You can't be serious.
What do you mean?
That old geezer hasn't worked in years. He's too old to be of any use.
Well, no, I don't think that's very fair, sir. I'm sure I can give him a chance to work again.
Well, if you say so. I had struck gold. I bought Stephen and set to restoring him immediately. Unfortunately, it was too late.
What's wrong, sir?
I'm sorry, Stephen,
but it looks like you'll have to take a back seat for a while, and so will this building project.
What do you mean?
I spent my money all on repairing you. I don't have enough to build the railway lines through the estate. What will you do? I'm not sure, but I'll figure something out. I always do.
Eventually, I found the resources to make my dream come true, thanks to Sir Topham Hatt and everyone here.
But whatever became of your brother?
Truth be told, I never knew until now, because the sight of him driving off in anger was the last I saw of him.
As soon as I got into my car, it was like I magically disappeared. However, I was so distracted in my anger that I barely paid attention to what I was doing. I'll show them what for, as soon as I... It all happened so quickly, I thought I saw my life flash before my eyes. It was a bloody miracle that I survived that crash. As I stepped out of the car, battered and bruised, I felt as if my life was just beginning. So I faked my death. News outlets covered it all. The old me was dead, and the new me was ready to seek revenge. But where to go was the real question. Fortunately, I found solace in a local bar.
Boy, looks like you've seen better days, pal.
Tell me about it.
Here, for your troubles, I'll give you a drink. It'll be on the house. What'll it be?
A simple water would do just fine, thanks.
Really? Well, if you say so.
Did you hear about Richard Norramby? Yeah, it's a real shame, innit? So young, too. Yes, a sure shame.
So, what's gotten you down?
Family troubles. It's a long story.
Puh, I know what that's like.
Most would.
Families can be complicated.
Sometimes you feel like they've lost their minds. Hear, hear. So, what do you think you'll do to fix the situation? I don't know. I really don't know. Tell you what, I know someone who can probably help you get back on your feet, if you're interested. Really? Absolutely. Free of charge. Suppose I could use any help I can get. Here you go. Much appreciated, sir. From there, I was able to get back into the swing of things, with no brother holding me back. I picked up some useful skills from the man the bartender suggested, and I was able to get to where I am now.
Seems to me like this whole revenge thing is quite petty.
As if you'd understand, filthy pirate.
Matter of fact, I do. Revenge does more harm than good. It twists your mind and destroys who you truly are. I suggest you give up this petty grudge and give Robert his estate back.
But this estate never belonged to him in the first place. Like I said, you wouldn't understand the betrayal I felt that day. Now be off with you. I've had enough of having to listen to you. Your voice is grating. So why haven't you tried telling people that Richard forged the will?
The real will was only shown to me, my brother, and my mother. My mother has passed away, so she can't testify, and my brother has already convinced the masses that I'm a fraud. There's no evidence in my favor.
There's bound to be another way to prove your innocence. We're getting this estate back to its rightful owner by any means necessary.
I wish you luck in that. It'll be hard to find someone who can vouch for me.
We'll find a way, sir. Don't you worry.